really broken and I felt really left out. All of our friends were getting pregnant. Yeah, and most of our friends were on their second child. I just felt like I couldn't do what God created me to do, and that was a really broken and empty feeling.
The hardest part for me was, I'm a fixer, and I like to, make sure that things are provided for and she's taken care of, and I couldn't fix it. I couldn't make it happen. So the hardest part for me was it was completely a helpless feeling.
When I found out I was pregnant, it was a complete shock. I actually didn't find out till I was just about 8 months pregnant, so it was a huge shock. And I didn't have any symptoms or anything, so just one day I just felt like I just felt a little weird, honestly. That was all it was. And then I went and checked, and I went to the doctor, and yeah, they said I was almost 8 months pregnant, and that was really scary.
It was a lot to take in. It was a lot, really quick. And just the fact that she was that far along, it was basically, we didn't know what to do.
Like instantly knew, just like the way our life was at that time, and we just instantly knew this wasn't going to be the right time. Like we could have given him the same amount of love, but not everything else. We wouldn't have been around enough, and we wouldn't even be the ones like raising him, basically. It'd be some random daycare.
Like his first word would be something from a school,
And we never ever wanted that.
We had dinner with our pastor, and the thing that just made the light switch on was, he said, well, if we know that God loves orphans and widows, why are you waiting for God to tell you to adopt than waiting for him to tell you to not adopt?
When we met with our caseworker, she made it very clear. She would tell us that she'd give us, a few different families to look at. And when we started looking, it was like intuition. It was like literally they were the first family we looked at, and after looking at all the other families, we went straight back to them.
Really, as soon as we met Austin and Nicole, we knew. Don't you think? We knew that this was meant to be.
Going to meet Sean and Jen was a little nerve-wracking until literally the second we met them.
Right, yeah.
And then it was just amazing.
Quick and crazy, but it was amazing. It was, we walked in there and they had him on that little incubator table at the warming table, and he was just sitting there totally quiet, eyes totally wide open and bright. Austin was in there, Nicole's mom was in there, and it was just amazing. Ultimately, we know what's best for Jackson and Cash is for them to have access to their birth parents, for there not to be secrets, for them not to feel any guilt from our part that they can't have access to them.
Well, and also, it's important for us to recognize the sacrifice of the birth parents too. And although it would be, easier to not manage that relationship, it's important for us to always make sure that that's something that we take care of.
Because I think I love seeing the updates on him. I love to see how good he's doing, and I wouldn't ever want it to change. And it's a good feeling. It's never we leave and we're sad. We leave and we're comforted and we're yep, again, this was the right decision.
We want to make sure he understands everything. We don't want any unanswered questions,
we want to
to
be
go
completely
unanswered.
open with him. And
Right. We want to make sure he knows it wasn't we didn't abandon him or anything like that.
And we never didn't want him. We just wanted him to have a better life.
When he looked into his heart to think of what is the very best that I can give Sean and Jennifer, this was it. I always want to tell people this is not God's second best. This is his absolute very best. And if he gave me the choice to go back and do it different, I wouldn't do anything different. All babies are special and amazing and from God, but there's something about adoption that you come to this place where you're like I know he's in everything, but this was so intimate. Like, he really planned this out. This was no accident.